I googled Gen X the other day just to find out what it was, because I'm always hearing about it. And we never talked about generations in our generation, did we? We sometimes talked about, or we heard our parents talking about baby boomers, and that was something to do with the war. We didn't quite understand. But yeah, there was never gens. We're Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z. According to my sources, Gen X is roughly people born between the years of 1965 and 1980. So I am Gen X. I'm 57 years old, born in 1967. So, what is it about Gen X and this town that I live in, Pattaya here in Thailand? When I first came, I wasn't a Gen X. I was only 29 years old, right? I was a young kid myself. And I noticed that most of the people hanging around in the bars were between about 40 and 60, maybe 45 and 60 years old, quite happy, sitting at a beer bar, listening to Hotel California and playing Jenga, you know, and that we were quite happy doing that on our holidays. How things have changed. I think it's fair to say that for everybody watching this video, the pandemic was a bit of a line in the sand, and we can, if we don't do it now, we will in the future say the pre-pandemic and post-COVID, we will look at that time in our lives as something that completely changed us all. And I think during the pandemic, a lot of people younger than us looked at their lives. They had this terrible thing happen to them for 2 years, and they said, let's do something. When we can get out there, let's do different things. Let's spread our wings a bit, let's see the world. And a lot of people have decided to come here to Pattaya, and it's fair play to say that since the pandemic I've been looking around, and here we are in 2024, nearly 2025, and there are a lot of younger people here. Why, right? And more the question that I tend to hear from people of my age talking about these people is how can they afford to do that? It's all about money. As a Gen Xer, I started work when I was 13. I was doing a paper round. I started working in a warehouse. I was then DJing. I worked on the radio in a record shop. I did all of these things and just side hustled. And I've always kind of either been creative, or I've done a service, or I've done something in a big company. But we look at these people, us Gen Xers, at the younger generation, and we look at them with their tattoos. By the way, millennials, have a sense of humour, right? Have a sense of humour, just for a minute. With their tats and their baseball hats, sometimes the wrong way round, and their man bags and their beards, and we look at them and say, how can they afford? When we was their age, we were trying to make money, desperately saving money for our retirement, and we've done that, and in some cases we haven't really had the benefit of all those years of work, and now we kind of look at this generation rather kind of, I don't want to say suspiciously, but a bit enviously, I think, really. Our generation was the last generation that was educated, and this isn't, by the way, this isn't AI speaking now, this is me, right? We were the last generation to be educated outside the digital world. Do you remember the excitement in the classroom when somebody in a lab coat, in a white coat, wheeled out a trolley with a big TV and a video player? Wow! And we used to sit there in the classroom with this newfangled tech and watch a video about something. Or somebody would come and show us a slideshow from countries around the world. And we used to get excited on a Saturday because we had a library card, we could go down the library. This was a pre-internet age, and we were kind of excited about learning and tech, and it was so simple. And it just seems today that the whole of this generation is a little bit kind of overeducated. It's got so much data and information going into their brains. Has anybody out there got children that are studying exams? In the UK, it used to be O-levels, I think it's GCSEs now, I'm not sure. And they're looking at their what they have to learn and the questions on the exam papers and mock exams, if you like. Well, I haven't got a clue. I mean, what their kids are learning these days is incredible compared to us. We were very much a generation that was told to get out there and work, but when we were educated, we were competing against the guys in the next school or the guys down the road, maybe, in the next village or whatever. But now, the kids need to be educated to compete with the kids in India and China and Southeast Asia. Let's be honest. The emerging nations that have got a very well-educated workforce online and working a lot cheaper, to be honest. So these are the differences between us. And we look at this new generations that are coming over here, and people say, you know, how can they afford to do it? Well, speaking as I do, I reach out a hand of friendship to the millennials and the Gen X and the Gen Zers. These people are doing a lot of crypto, they are doing currency, they're okay, their business, their boss says they can work from home remotely, and the boss doesn't know that they're actually in Thailand. And we can't get our heads around that. A lot of us feel that is really, really weird. And a little bit unfair, really. And I remember when I first came, as I said, I was 29 years old. People then were complaining that somebody was coming over here and spoiling it for us old timers. Like, well, I wasn't an old timer then. It was people that were, back in the 90s, it was the emergence of the Japanese and the Korean tour groups, right? You think people following the flag, walking down the road is a new thing. It ain't, right? That has been going on for 30, 40 years. And we were saying that these new generations, as the economies in Korea and Japan got better and better and bigger, they were coming over here and all the girls prefer the Koreans, they don't like us. And it's always been something that older people in this town have worried about is taken away from them. And now it's the younger people. How dare they come over here, these young men, virile, you know. You've heard these conversations in bars, right? Well, let me say this, as a bar owner, and I have a bar on Soy Diamond, Le Pub, I sit with the girls outside sometimes as their riak keg or call customer, riak lukka. And yes, when they see these millennials with their beards, man bags, yes, tats, whatever, please, millennials, don't have a go at me. It's just a joke, right? Right, when they see these people, they do scream, oh, right? But deep down, I still say the girls here in Pattaya are looking, if they're looking for a long-term relationship, they're looking for it from an older man, from somebody who can offer them experience and, more importantly, stability. One of the things I have noticed about millennials, again, please don't hurt me, right, is that they can't sit down. they're bopping around all the time, and just sit down, enjoy yourself, relax. The influx of younger people has done this town no end of good. Look at things like all the new mom and pop coffee shops that have set up. All of those are because of younger people, okay? And not younger Western people, it has to be said. During the pandemic, again, us older people were always complaining about somebody spoiling it for us. It was the Thai people. Thai people were coming into our town. How dare they? Coming into our town and holidaying, right? And actually that was a great thing, because you got all these new type of restaurants, as I said, and coffee shops. And younger people want an experience. Who remembers back in the day, the Marine Disco? Right, we all went there. It didn't look good, did it? It didn't have the fanciest light show. It didn't have the fanciest sound system. Nobody knew who the DJ was. And now look at the nightclubs on Walking Street and other places. Amazing light shows, sound system, internationally designed, and with some of the top superstar DJs and PAs from around the world. And that is directly because of the younger people coming here into this city. Some of them Thai people, some of them Westerners. So we have to say, thank you very much, young people, for making it a bit better. I still say there's nothing for us to be worried about. The ladies still love us guys, so don't worry too much. And just enjoy, the generation gap as we get older here. It has to be said, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the younger people in their 20s and 30s that are here now living probably won't be here for a long time. They may see circumstances change. If they are getting most of their money from sort of speculation, whether it be crypto or whatever, what goes up must come down. And so it might be that they have to return home at sometimes, or just move on, or get a proper job like we all want to tell them. So who knows? Do you feel that there is a younger audience, there is a younger generational people coming into Pattaya now? Let me know in the comments down below. I've just started a TikTok channel, believe it or not. And it's not, it's ticking over, but it's not doing great things. And I'm doing that to try and get a younger audience coming into the bar. We try and look as modern as possible and listen to younger people and trends and everything. But at the end of the day, people of my generation, have got a lot of disposable income. And they're people that just like the good old-fashioned times, sitting back in a nice, clean, cool bar, listening to some old tunes, playing Jenga, Hotel California. What do you think? The generation gap in Pattaya, what's going to go on? Let me know in the comments down below, please. I'm Mr. Egg. You can see me every day. I work every day, not like these young people, at Le Pub on Soy Diamond, just down from the windmill. Come and join me, please. But for me, here enjoying, has to be a quite nice sunny morning here in Pattaya. Take care, and I hope to see you all soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.